And the union government has raised the red flag on rising public debt. Finance Secretary Ajay Seth says that some states are moving towards financing current expenditure rather than investing through borrowings. Sapna Das is joining us now with more details. Sapna, tell us, what did the Finance Secretary say on controlling the rise in public debt?
Well, basically the concerns are well known, but the fact is that the concerns are still there. That is a bit of a worry. So number one, of course, the fact that many of the high income states as well are not just running revenue deficits, but probably some of them are also financing their current expenditure or consumption via borrowings instead of using the borrowing money for investment. So that's one big concern that has been flagged by the centre. The second, also the fact, and within this, the fact also remains that, there is obviously a provision under the constitution where the state governments have to seek the centre's nod for any kind of borrowing. Even the quarterly borrowings or any kind of an additional borrowing, the GOI is not as required. But, that provision is under challenge at the Supreme Court presently. Of course, the ruling has not come, but that is one aspect that we need to keep in our minds. Also, the fact remains that whether it's an Orissa is a more, fiscally more sound and prudent state. So if Orissa is running a state to debt GDP of around 20% and there's another state which is running a 50% state to debt GDP, which is very, very high, what happens is that the borrowings, there is no difference in the yields that are quoted on those state government papers. Now, the centre's thinking over here is probably that some kind of a rating mechanism should be brought in, which will instill some kind of discipline, fiscal discipline, and will be giving a signal to the market that state governments will be kind of penalized if they go beyond borrowings which are not required, or the yields on that can be higher than a particular state which is fiscally more prudent. I think that's the point. That's a very big point that the centre is trying to make. Mr. Ajay Seth also referred to the fact that this mechanism probably will not be brought in by the central government, but they may like to leave it to, say, think tanks, operational in India presently, or even the Finance Commission. The 16th Finance Commission's report is awaited later down in the year. Sometime October, November is when they'll give their next set of recommendations for 5 years. And within that, it could be possible, the centre is making a pitch, that there should be some kind of a discipline that should be instilled in terms of state government debt, particularly in terms of the state government borrowing paper and the kind of prudence that needs to be brought in. So I think these are the big messages coming out. The centre is also indicating that one of the reasons, or rather one of the medium-term challenges as to why India's credit rating has not been upgraded is also because of the fact that the public debt is elevated. And here I think the hint is equally towards state governments, or rather more towards state governments. We'll have to wait and watch this space for more.
Right, so more details clearly awaited there. Sapna, thanks a lot for that comprehensive outlook on concerns being raised by the Finance Secretary. Moving ahead now.